inviting on stage a gentleman who has the honor of being the first Muslim to sit in the British Parliament. He served as Labour Member of Parliament for Glasgow Central from 1997 to 2010, and he has also served as Governor of Punjab Province. And Mr. Mohammed Salwa has contributed a lot to attain GSP Plus status for Pakistan by using his personal contacts. Please welcome on stage Mr. Mohammed Salwa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Jaz Saab and top ambassadors, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and friends from the media, Assalamu alaikum, good evening. First of all, I want to appreciate you all for arranging this. Thank you, European Union. And I'm pleased to say that I was at the forefront of fighting our case in the European Parliament for GSP Plus status. And I think I will not do the justice if I don't mention Lars, who was our European ambassador, former European ambassador, and all the European ambassadors in Pakistan played their role to put the case forward to the European members of Parliament. It was a very tough job, and I had to go to Brussels, Germany, Barcelona, London, Scotland, and I met more than 100 members of the European Parliament one-on-one, because there was always misperception about Pakistan and the people of Pakistan. We discussed about the issues of human rights in our country. We discussed about the gender equality, women empowerment, or education, labor environment and working conditions in our factories. And one thing I said, every one of them, that we are not perfect. But one thing we can assure you that as a nation, we are implementing all those 27 conventions, not to achieve the status of GSP Plus, because we genuinely and passionately believe that's the only way forward to the progress, prosperity, and economic strength of our country. Women are 50%, 51% of our country. Without their participation, without their involvement, Pakistan cannot grow. In fact, any country cannot grow. And I mentioned to them that I always campaigned during my time as a member of Parliament, and before that I was Glasgow City Councillor for 8 years for the rights of women. But one thing, if you say that in third world countries there are problems about women's rights, but I'm afraid to say that these problems still exist, even in advanced countries, even in countries like Britain and Europe, where there is a gap of wages, there is equal opportunities. There has to do more to have the women representation in political level, in business, in profession, everywhere. And I was telling them one story which I want to share with you, that because I was always on television and the papers talking about women's rights, when there was an election in 2005, I was campaigning in my constituency, and the old, not old, I think, but about 40-year-old man appeared to me. Are you the guy who is always talking about women's rights, women's rights? Are you the guy who is our MP? I said, yes, I am your MP, and I always talk about women's rights. And he says to me, what about men's rights? You have never said anything about men's rights. I said, yes, they should have equal rights. He said, my wife beats me every day, and no politician is helping me at all. You always talk about women's rights. So, I'm pleased that GSP Plus status was awarded to Pakistan, and I think we have taken the benefit from this status, but I think there's a huge potential. We can do it more, and I think the government should extend more facilities to our business community, and business community must be heard, because when this status was given to Bangladesh, their export increased manifold. although our export to the European has increased at least 30%, but I think with the efforts from our business community, from our government, from our people, we can increase our export to the European Union more than 30%. Brothers and sisters, I want to now come to the issues which Pakistan is facing nowadays. Pakistan has lost more than 70,000 people in their fight against terrorism, and is a frontline state who is fighting against terrorism. And we have lost almost $100 billion in terms of revenues because of uncertainty, because of terrorist activity, because of the lack order position, and because of so many refugees we have from Afghanistan in our country. But unfortunately, it is very painful for me and the people of Pakistan that after giving so many sacrifices, still questions are raised about our integrity, about our commitment to deal with terrorism. And I believe that international community should recognize our army sacrifices, our people's sacrifices to fight against terrorism. But unfortunately, there is little recognition about our contribution to deal with terrorism in our country. So I would urge the European ambassadors who are here, they should put Pakistan's case to the international community. We have in our country, very unfortunately, there are total number of people who are out of school in the world are 55 million. In Pakistan alone, there are 25 million children out of school. That is 40% of the total children in the world. 40% are in Pakistan who are not going to the schools. The children who should be in school, they are doing child labor in the factories, in the people's houses. And I think this is something the government, people of Pakistan, or the provincial government, and the international community should help Pakistan to achieve better literacy rate in our country. And I believe if there are 40% people who are not going to schools in Pakistan, the different budget, European Union budget, United Nations budget, 40% should come to Pakistan so we can deal with the education issue in our country. And the second issue, that our population don't have even the access to clean drinking water. And you'll be surprised that 1.1 million people lost their lives because they cannot afford to buy drinking water, and because they drink dirty water, 1.1 million people have died because of drinking dirty water. So this is something the international community can play a part to help our country to at least give our people clean drinking water. But I am grateful to the European community and effort for they have taken many initiatives fighting against poverty, education, and women empowerment, and we really appreciate that. We thank you for the international community and European Union for their help for the people of Africa. But one thing I want to say, and that's what I said during my time in the parliament, that you cannot bring prosperity, you can't bring peace in the world without justice. Justice is the key to achieve prosperity in our country. We are living in a global village now. Whatever happens in Pakistan, it affects the people all over the world. Whatever happens in America, it affects the whole globe. So we should be very careful when we make decisions, particularly the people, the countries who are in position of power. And I'm going to say with heavy heart, although it's not about today about this, but I do want to say that America, President Trump's decision to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Tel Aviv is a gross violation of international law and United Nations program. And I expect that all the peace organizations, all the people who believe in democracy, all the people who believe in justice, in equality, in fairness, in free speech, injustice, they should stand up against this unjust decision. I have never heard that the international community will reward the people who are violating human rights, who are not implementing United Nations resolutions. And unfortunately, America's decision, I believe it is unlawful, it is illegal, and international community should stand against this decision together. And finally, I am very grateful to you all for organizing this conference, and I am sure that the relations between the European Union and Pakistan will go strength to strength. And I know there was one referendum in Britain, although I was against Brexit, but unfortunately, the people of Britain have decided. But I still believe that we can grow our relationship, and we can grow our economies, and we can grow our trade between our country. But please do understand that Pakistan is going through a very critical, tough, and difficult time. And we need not condemnation, but prayer and help from the international community to deal with the menace of